Hey, so today I just had a thought that I wanted to share, which I think is kind of funny, and I'm curious about who else maybe has this. So I live in a situation where I use three languages throughout my life. I use English for teaching. I use Portuguese at home most of the time since my partner speaks Portuguese as a first language. And then I also have some friends that I hang out with that speak Spanish kind of specifically. Like there's some English, but mostly Spanish. And so I use all three. However, when I use Portuguese, I use informal Portuguese because I'm speaking with my partner. So we're talking about everyday things, using slang, being kind of chill. Spanish, same thing, using social contexts, hanging out, using slang, being kind of chill. But my English is different because when I make content for you guys, I tend to use a bit more of a specific way of speaking. It's my speaking for videos or my speaking for a variety of people to understand me. And then when I teach, I also use my kind of teacher English. So the way that I speak typically with my English is kind of a level up than I would normally use. And it's funny because it's Thanksgiving week, which means that family is coming into town. And so I'm hanging out with my sister and her girlfriend and my parents and my aunts and my uncles and my grandfather. And there's all of this English that's around me, and I'm actually kind of preparing myself for that. That sounds so odd, but using English in just like a whatever way is something that I don't typically do because I don't use it with a lot of folks unless like I hang out with a friend, but that's also specific. So it's very funny for me to need to sit and think of a word that I want to think of, or I don't use the slang, or I don't use the idioms and the things. And like my sister is such a beautiful speaker. Like she uses so many cool, colorful things in her English. Like she's also a writer, so that helps. But like it's so funny to listen to her speak and to be like, oh yeah, you can do that in English because I don't typically anymore. So yeah, just a funny thought. I'm just curious if anybody else has this where like their first language, they don't use it as often. And so when you use it, do you use it in a really casual way? Or do you use it in a more high level manner? Or is there another language that you use more now? Like living in the US again, obviously I use my English more often because I have to, just in the day to day, but it's still interactions. It's going to the grocery store, it's chatting with my maintenance guy, things like that. So my English isn't exactly like gonna be chill in those contexts. So yeah, I'm curious. Do you guys do that? People ask me this. I'd say I use Portuguese most of the time. I use English the second amount, and then Spanish probably the third, which is so funny to me now. But yeah, so that's my thought for the day. I hope you are, if you're in the US or if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you have such deep gratitude for your family. Or if you do have your family, whether it be your chosen family or your born into it family, or your deep friendships that you have, or the warm home that you have for the winter, whatever that is, I hope you're leading with gratitude. And yeah, I hope you have a good day. And seriously, tell me, what languages do you speak and which ones do you use the most? And like, what's the level that you use them? Okay, bye.